Azumah Nelson, a fearless warrior, embodied bravery and resilience, proving to the world that champions can rise from Africa.
I started from a young man, and any old man who wants to challenge me, hey, I'm okay here.
Hailed as the greatest African boxer of all time, Azumah clinched 2 world titles. First, the WBC featherweight title in 1984. Then the WBC super featherweight crown, which he held for nearly a decade. He followed in the footsteps of David Quartey, famously known as DK Poison, who became Ghana's first world champion in 1975. Azumah's victories inspired a golden generation of Ghanaian boxers, including Ike Quartey, Joshua Clottey, Richard Comey, and Isaac Dogbe. For decades, the ring was dominated by men until one trailblazer, Abigail Quartey, changed the narrative.
John Dramani Mahama.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
Let us not downplay this important meeting as it tapers to our 4-year constitutional mandate.
I, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman, having been elected to the office of Vice President of the Republic of Ghana,
Just as Georgina Theodora Wood shattered the glass ceiling as Ghana's first female Chief Justice, Joyce Bamford Addo being the first female Speaker of Parliament, and Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman, who is the first female and current Vice President of the country, Abigail Quartey also carved her legacy, not in governance, but in the boxing arena. Was far from ordinary.
Abigail G, in you feel what you offend, I just away dear. Nicky, no, mammy, I see a polygon. She be a name from my house for my tune and what the offend what is not. You know what you know, home, look special. Was she dear call now, Abigail, left no fair free. If mom me po na agye ko ni bomo kasa atu no okay moko ni edombo enu fe no ka efe ni che smart bana no efe ta o ni fe mo ko na le o na ke gbe ni wo se e ba chungbo mo ko ball twa ball e no twa ke twa ball wo hu mu efita ni wo hu mu after e ba ya twa ball e no wo le ake ba twa shi be ko ni ke brother kwato la wuli e le won en le no boss e ke le fan wa ake nyemme como com o follow mo e que lete va impera kufita ere ba ka ni sabi te ke o esimone no nke ba no ba shibo le mo ni enu no lele tu mo han me awole ghost feel efe na penoko ke no se.
Abigail's cousin Isaac Ayite, a boxer himself, convinced her to trade football boots for boxing gloves. His unwavering belief set her on a path to greatness.
From the one, my body, this time, I work anytime at all, my training pack at the came back, she and me quelle, and if you come, boy, try. Me quelle, if you come active, or ye active nagas and I get trouble, ye ball, you know. Darling, be come, I can boxer, boxing move by ye, value. Oh, you confuse all any time. gbe na da ge ko da bi ni ne san yan yo fe ni ne shi ka anye le un ge le yo fe ni ne ta gbe ke le bi ke ti shi long gloss di bele le gloss le shui long gloss di o ba shui shiam e ge wo le gloss ke o bra ko bi ku wo shiam ma ke kala fe no ku fi am fita me shui ka e ge bra e ge o bra shui ni bi ri le fi o ni bi ko bi chocolate bo na no da bi mene boko ni ke lele o kle egme la no anyi mi e ba nye edu ya pi lele ni mo do mo na ni gele ji fiu o da le bi enkele mo wole ke wole ke small bo wa jo wa train buko ji wa train fiu lo pa dan le e ke o yemi fiu na kan won ina yo ko be fite yo ngele ke yo fi ya yo wa ka fi training ka train na anye training no kan wole ke yo close ke yo be ko me yo ba be mbafu e ke jo afu ke no ko no veto ngela da be je na kan be ni le ka fi na kan mene ba yi me ne ke wo se me ne yi me ne
to abo na ehie wo mu ye community emi no mi le akeshi ehie wa na ba anye fi no jeme no ise egbe onushi ni ye long musa time say kelele nche nye ke ba na kan time emi be ni chwa ke ehie wa na ba anye fi because me ko na me am fearance ni am sure ni be omu ehia she na nye ke confidence ba na nye me ke kele fi ehia nche no ko gbe ya ke e ba anye fi jeme no ni wo start ngela adomostan ni bon le boxing e chomo fiu.
For over a decade at the Black Panthers Boxing Foundation gym on bare grounds marked with chalk, Abigail trained relentlessly and sacrificed personal pleasures just to embrace the grueling demands of the sport.
Boss many nye mega mi yuen lage lokoni ewa shini bote me na ke de shomo lokoni kula ewa lenche even ko o fight no anopo ba ko wa fe weight wa so wa fe fit e be easy kula ewa lenche ke mo je training shin lebi mi ya fe ojo jogging fi o nti o se to mo 5 ke ya fe jogging fi o to mo 1 hour 30 minutes keke mba shamba juni mba jonyi shone mi keke samba gym they can take to 2 hours 30 minutes mba fe loko fi orientation training dani ano e wa mi wa because can training inye mono ya ke wa 3 minutes e po na wa for 3 minutes he ogu go fe yoda no e wa lenche no train on dani ya no ni man no fighter in train on regular ni inwo fi oil inwo mi fi oil ya ke loko papa kan yin no me mi ni title o ni mo je po ma ayi ko ke pa training no ni station ni ye loko no ya cash.
Her hard work culminated on November 24, 2024, when she stepped into the ring for the WIBF Super Bantamweight title. Across from her stood Sangeeta Bedi, a formidable British opponent. Abigail unleashed a barrage of punches and precise uppercuts, leaving Sangeeta battered and bruised. When the final bell rang, the decision was unanimous. Abigail Quartey had triumphed.
Fairly few is starting she me. No ne wo mi wale ke ina I wale ke she fi money. Nko achon we champion. Gele no ni na dan ni ya challenge le she ame for under. No time any fighter ba no. You mean wa yo if it more pressure bem. Because me ta my title lead. No doing local match.
Were you scared?
No.
Why?
Because I want to beat her.
Was the fight easy?
It's not easy. Right. My mind say I want to beat her.
Legbo mo fi hungry. Omo ye lo mo. No, omo ni ye lo mo we. Ni na no ku ne ken le be sani enye eyi because legbo mo le nche na me yifa omo we wo. Ya fight ba noto. No da ne le yi omo akeshira ne no. No ne nu naka akeclear yen chomi po omo e no po yi lese ka akeshin sane fi girigiri omo ne yi because ko ba watch me yu akeshin emusun we She akeshini ena no neta wo mu no neta wo no ha na mi en chomi ne yele fen o gidigidi.
Efe mi na pe tabi en wo nteshi. Ile noko insista kowe ni obi ebi you sa de to obi nu. Eke isakoto kwateke ano she wi ni she ale tate she yi blofonu. Go. Mi je kwa ni kwateke ano nye ke wo no ko we bi e wole no ko ano ni wosumo. No efi o wo nda ni wo shi. Wọ́n ní nko pẹ́ anikwale enwo na no na yo mu e ba ni ka obi enyi no wota sha ka kwate ka so we ano she ano ya re na we bi e wo nuko sha ka ji mo gugo hola obi enyi ka mi na yu o kwate ka le wa le no e ba ye yi mo.
It has, you know, taking Ghana boxing to the next level, because I can tell you when I traveled to Kazakhstan and met one of my partner in boxing, he told me he had a lot of information around Abigail winning a world title here in Ghana, and that has been an inspiration for him bringing his boxer, who is a female Kazakhstani boxer in the name of Angelina Lucas. She's a super flyweight IB world champion, and he'll be fighting for WBA world championship next month. And they are believing, by God's grace, winning that title. We want to come to Ghana to stay for some 6 weeks to have about 3 fights before she leaves and prepare and come back for big defense of title here. And they are ready to collaborate with us, because Abigail is also here. She has also won a world title, and then we can showcase female boxing to the rest of the world.
I think Abigail is dominating. She has dominated from round 1 to the 10th round, and she's doing really well. It's the first time we've seen a Ghanaian female boxer.
It's a massive win in the fight for recognition as females in sports generally, because I mean, where we come from, we do know that sports for the longest time was reserved for men, and being a female in that field came with a lot of misconceptions and suspicions and all of that. I mean, but you know, so the gendered stereotype is gradually wearing off, and it's something that we should keep pushing for and be proud of. So it's a very proud moment, should be, for every female who is in a male-dominated field of endeavor, especially those in the area of sports or in the sports industry. And as I said, we can only hope that we'll have more of such achievements, because it's a global trend. Whether the society accepts it or not, we're not going to stop at Abigail. There'll be more Abigails, and that's the best part of the narrative. These are institutionalized prejudices, if I can put it that way, that you have in a patriarchal setup. And so it takes a lot for a female to gain prominence in such fields of endeavor. And boxing, my goodness, I mean, that's the last place you expect females to be. And so it's really heartwarming to find that someone is done that, has broken the glass ceiling indeed, and has done it at the global level also. It's a very difficult task, and for boxing especially, I think that it's a cause for excitement and celebration for females.
The achievement palpably has had a ripple effect on the nation, yet the government's lack of recognition cast a shadow over her victory.
ni achieve local agbowa ke Ghana ke wo ma fe no me expect ke sani wo ma yen lo enye phone ni hm because of your bet ni ya ke local papa ni e wolomi forever yeah sure ke by this time anyway she ake ekole ita director before ke baje no ba kwa ka wan wo tuwe na kan ni lo.
I think she won her title at the time that there was election.
That's true.
It was all taken from, I believe, from the sports section. It should have been given the coverage so that everybody could have lent their voice in. It's very sad because that shouldn't be the case. Once somebody is representing Ghana and the person is able to reach such heights, under no circumstances shouldn't the person's achievement be touted. And so it's quite unfortunate. I can understand that you'd be disappointed. And I think I can even give her a call. I didn't even know about it till recently, to be honest with you. And so what you are doing is perfect, okay? That's why there's a he for she, where men come in to support women, where men also come in to do their part to ensure that women are able to break barriers. And so I'm glad you're doing this, and this should definitely give her the needed attention and the needed support and encouragement that she needs to do even more for the country. And so, I mean, she's well within her rights to feel disappointed. Nobody wants to be left behind or feel that they're left behind. And so we need to do more as a country, definitely, to ensure that our representatives and our sportswomen and men who are representing us also get the needed and the right support they require.
Abigail has had an impressive record of 9 wins in 10 professional bouts. The 28-year-old, who formerly represented the nation with the Black Bombers in 2015, is now ranked first in Ghana and 51st globally in her division. It is an achievement that was not attained on a silver platter, with bouts hard to come by for females in the sport.
A lack of opponents for boxers. We have few in the system, but when you have to promote them, you need to bring boxers from outside to come and fight them. If you are able to build a female boxer's record to maybe 3, 4, 5 fights, by the 5th fight or maybe the 4th fight, you cannot get an opponent of a weight class here in Ghana anymore. So you need to go out there to maybe neighboring countries to bring them. And it's it's quite expensive because you need to buy a ticket for and maybe a team. You lodge here in hotel, pay for all expenses around it. So it's a little bit expensive, and sponsorship issue is one of the things that is bothering promoters.
Abigail's story is more than personal triumph. It's a rallying cry for young women across Ghana. Her journey proves that with passion and perseverance, barriers can be broken and dreams realized, but that can be made easier with government intervention.
Well, the future is bright for female boxing here in Ghana because at the amateur level, we have a lot of them, even at the juvenile level. And gradually, once they've seen one of their own gender winning a world title here in Ghana, what I believe is if this lady who won the world title is being rewarded, or if she's able to get some good reward from government and other stakeholders, it will inspire the up-and-coming female boxers more to give it all their might into the female boxing thing. And that I believe government should do something about it. You know, when Abigail won the title, you know, it was within the heat of the campaign, and you know, there has been some transition and all that stuff. But I believe the new government will take a look at her and what she has done. And you know, if we've gotten our first female vice president and coming in the time of getting our first female world champion, I believe something will work out for the female boxer, and it will be a great inspiration for other female boxers coming up.
Where female boxers, yeah, woman, shi efetun walo fitai wo amenya metuni mosu wake boko fe boko ni yemi omo alo boko ni bakpa ko enije ami aka je wi ke ya wo game shi loko kopa ba je mi ke ba that moment ni ngba ko title loko kopa ba je mi ke ba o amenije ami aka je wi this one ga make onupa ife onupa ni amenyin owo yin ife ake jantone no loko kopa ba amema no ewo ameke amewaleke amesusu mu awo sports na afio ni amenya ameke wawo na ameke push wo ke ato pe jake je bi epe anu ya boss yen anu ye man say ife I score wa watch e wa Africa ne wa lo be ye wo amenya ameke ame awo game mi ojugba o mo so make onupa ife ameke ameju mo ka me wale awo game ni wo fio.
As a nation, we've bemoaned the dearth in sports facilities, the absence or the lack of it. And even where we have some, the quality always raises concerns. So it's a concerning issue, and moments such as these bring that issue to the fore. And is an opportunity for us to take a critical look at these areas. These moments call us to sit up and take a critical look at some of these things that seem to have fallen through the cracks or seem to have missed the attention of the people that matter. And so I think that, as I said, once this happens, it opens the door to many more. And that is the more reason why the foundation should be laid, everything that is needed to ensure that the many more that are likely to follow suit have better conditions under which to train, to hone their talents, and to excel on the highest stage, the biggest stage ever globally, are given that opportunity and have that at their disposal. So government has a major stake in this. And thankfully, it's a sport where it's a sport which has given us a lot to cheer about as a nation in the past. It's been, the males have done it, won international acclaim. We have a boxing Hall of Famer in Azuma Nelson. We are a proud boxing nation, but nobody can deny the fact that boxing is in the doldrums as we speak right now, and we need to revive it. We struggle to even make qualification to the last Olympics, and that's telling enough, and that should jar us into action as a nation.
We've passed the affirmative action bill. This is to see at least 30% of women occupying decision-making processes. When it comes to barriers, there are psychological barriers, there are gender barriers, there are physical barriers. And if we're able to start with the 30% of women that are occupying these decision-making process, decision-making opportunities or decision-making roles, it would open the door, which we need for more women to be acknowledged. Because if that door is not open and it's not implemented, let's say Abigail is there and she's the only one, that door gives women a chance to lend their voice, even in the boxing space. So it's going to be across board. It's not, we're not talking about just one sector, but across all sectors. So sports becomes a place where at least 30% representation will be there. And so with that alone, with the government implementing this alone, I believe it won't be one woman, but even if we have 3 in the next 2 years, because the fair schedule of the affirmative action bill calls for 30%, up until it gets to a 50%. So for now, for me, the government implementing that bill is a big thing. It'll be a big win for women. In addition to that, we know the financial and the funding aspects when it comes to sports is a big deal. Even to attend tournaments is an issue. And so we need to look at investing more when it comes to financial investments into our women.
In a sport that often overlooks women, Abigail Quartey has punched her way into history and demonstrated that the ring has no gender. The focus now shifts to how Abigail can successfully defend her title and cement her legacy. One possible challenger is New Zealand's Miyamoto, or a unification bout against Yamileth Mercado of Mexico, a WBC super bantamweight champion.
A training emu to be na ya na ka fetumo be benet mu na chewe no ba gbojo e ka gbojo ne ke mo di benation sani e kanye he daga bia ne mo fo ba keshi abanaba abakale mo fo mo sumo ne balawu ake mo sumo fight mo he ni ne ye di ni a training ke mo de mbo ba ni e ba mbo ni e ba na enyu ke ete e fitanu ni enyi he.
You should continue to reach for the sky. There's really no limits to what we can do as women, even in sports such as boxing. And so she should hold it as long as she can. She should continue to make us proud as a country. And I think we should all come together to do our part to ensure that our female athletes, our female sports women can also go the full 9 yards.
I am elated at her achievement. It's remarkable. It cannot be watered down in any way. And we can only hope and ensure. In fact, we must be intentional about ensuring that she remains on the world stage and she remains visible and competitive for as long as it takes. And that would mean giving her the wherewithal, the resources, the technical assistance, and everything she requires to ensure that she progresses further and continues to hoist high the flag of Ghana in the field that she has chosen. It's a unique field. Back in the day, we had Yako Chavez. I think she's been prominent. In more recent times at the amateur level, we've had Dr. Ornella Safud. We need more. I mean, but Abigail's is exceptional. And that is why we're even talking about her.
Whatever happens, the world watches the rise of a true champion who has defied the odds and shown that greatness knows no bounds.
By a unanimous point victory, the first world champion from Ghana, from the Black Panthers boxing gym, the new WIBF featherweight champion from Stockholm in Accra, Abigail